Nah, it's not
Do I
like
look good for the camera? Which camera am I facing?
just both. Anyone is your camera. Why do you look at that in terms of like if you look good or what?
Oh, Baba, you must look good. This is international shit, right?
But for now, it's still local, but we're trying to get there.
Yeah, but whatever goes on the internet is my
I
internet.
guess.
You got it?
Yeah.
My journey doesn't stop here.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. Nor did it start here.
Didn't.
Nah. But yeah, so you're saying you're sad about him. Did you see him? Did you see Costa perform anyway?
No. I just like that song. One color cut or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Oh, that's fighting talk.
And with Themba Gorimbo, the answer,
Yep.
UFC, welterweight,
Yes.
contender,
No, not yet.
not yet, but on the roster.
No, I will be.
Yeah.
I will be contender. I will be champion. I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, for you in terms of like how you feeling, how's everything? Let's start with you just in general, with where you're at mentally, and yeah, as of just today, how you feeling?
Today I'm feeling a little bit tired. Obviously, it's a Sunday, but yeah, I mean, when you lose a fight, you kind of like start questioning a lot of things. So I'm in that process still. I've done that, and I'm still there where I'm questioning a lot of things, myself included. Yeah, so it's still a little bit of too much. I mean, I'm trying to get over it and thing, but I'm an obsessive, and I like to obsess on things until I get them figured out 100%. I mean, life is never 100%, but I'm getting there.
Is it a matter of so I don't want to touch on the fight now, but is it a matter of like this one hurts more than all the other, let's say, losses? Because the record now is 10-4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've lost in life. I've lost people in life. I've lost people that will never come back in my life, like my father, my mother. I've lost relatives that will never come back in my life.
Yeah.
That's more than a loss in fighting. And the loss in fighting is not the end of it. I've lost in fighting and I've always come back. So when you say, does this one hurt more? I don't know if I say this one hurts more. I'm more very disappointed in myself, if I have to be honest. That's why it hurts so much, because I know within myself, I was a better fighter. I know skill-wise,
That
I
night,
was a
ne?
better fighter. I know if I did what I always have done in the past, I would have won that fight. 10 out of 10 times I'll be that guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's already won, so it'll be 9 out of 10 times I'll be that guy. But at the end of the day, like, that's why it hurts me more. It really does eat me, because I let in a lot of energies. Like, it is not the fight, actually. The fight, yeah, fight is part of it. Obviously, I lost. But I let in so much leading up to this fight, and I am to blame. I let in so much in terms of energy, people. I felt like I trusted a little bit too much on certain individuals that I shouldn't have.
Dang.
Yeah, like, people will take offense on anything, but at the end of the day, like, I'm very honest, and I'll be honest with myself. I'm not here because I fell here. There's few people that are at this level in South Africa. Anyone can say whatever they want to say. I might have lost on my record.
Yeah.
But to just get here, it's a mission to get here, and there's a reason why I'm here. And I'm always gonna say in my mind how I feel about things. On this fight, it hurts me more because I let things cripple in that I shouldn't have. And I mean, I thought I was mentally bulletproof enough to
Steamroll everything.
yeah, to steamroll everything. But at the highest level, it's a game of inches. At this level in the UFC, it's a game of inches. Your environment has to be right. Everybody has to be there within you and for you. And as much as selfish it sounds, I mean, it sounds selfish, but yeah, at this level, unfortunately, it has to be more the athlete and none of the other stuff that we have to deal with. And I laid myself down on this one, and I'll never do that again.
I know the first time I met you, I don't know if you can remember this, but like the first time I met you, it was at EFC 99, and you were at the sort of like the entrance area, and then I came up to you, and then I asked you like, "Yo, are you down to do an interview?" And then what you said is that you don't do interviews before your fights.
Yeah, it's part of letting in, and I ended up doing an interview.
I
in Las
did
Vegas.
see, I did see.
I ended up doing an interview in Las Vegas. Um,
Just before.
with an individual that picked my opponent to win. After that interview, then I went to his picks and stuff.
Don't lie, for real.
Yeah.
Did
Definitely.
you see on like their blogs and all of that?
Yeah, so I went to his blog as well, like, I mean, Alex Boone, whatever you call him. If you ever end up seeing this, I'm kind of like crazy upset about it. I mean, with myself, because I said to myself I wouldn't do an interview
Before your fights, yeah.
But, you know, my manager, the guy that does our PR, whatever you call it, he organized the interview. So I kind of like, I didn't do myself justice.
You trusted the process.
Yeah, no, I thought to myself, you know what, I'll just do. I'm already in Vegas anyway. I'm trying to be on the highest stage and whatsoever. But at the end of the day, like, that's why I can't even look in the camera whatsoever, because I'm very, very disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
I let
So those
in
are
a lot.
those are the type of things that you
Yeah,
feel
for
like you
me,
had
for
let in
me.
there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. For this fight, I'm more disappointed in myself because I people pleased. I should have done myself justice.
Stuck to what you know and what has gotten you to this point.
What I know, what has gotten me to this point, what I've always done.
Done, yeah.
And I mean, I thought the big stage, like I said, the big stage needed a big adjustment. You have to fit in with certain things. Lucky I learned the lesson the hard way before I become a Burj Khalifa. Like I say all the time, that biggest, tallest building in the world without the right foundation of what you need to do. At the end of the day, I know I'm in the UFC. I know I don't have to do the interviews that I did.
Yeah.
I know I don't have to be with certain individuals. I mean, as much as it hurts, I build relationships, but relationships, if it doesn't suit me, I will not continue to do that. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, it's my story, not anyone's story.
It's true.
And I'm trying to fix my life right now. My life is a little bit of a mess, but life could be worse, my friend, because at the end of the day,
It has been worse.
life could be worse, and it has been worse, you know. I lost a fight, yes, but where am I fighting? In the UFC. I've lost a fight. Where was I fighting? EFC. So there's a big difference here. And it's not like, oh shit, there's no comeback to it. No, there is a comeback. The
Yeah.
UFC loves me. I can tell you that. They wanted me to win the fight.
Since you're in Fury, like you've been on their radar.
I've been on their radar. They know what they want from
Yeah.
me, and they like me. But I have to win the fights. I have to win fights.
Yeah,
Regardless of
yeah.
if they like me, if they don't like me.
Or what's happening in your
I know
life.
that the UFC likes me, and I know I like the UFC. I love the UFC, but I have to win fights. I have to go out there and win fights, and like. It is what it is. What happened.
Yeah.
What shall happen will happen.
Yeah. So let's take it back in terms of. I remember in one of your press conferences, you had said that you just wanted to be a champion. You didn't know about the money. You didn't know about. So coming from Zimbabwe, how did you discover that you could be good at this, and your journey into the EFC eventually?
So like I started fighting because I watched a movie called Never Back Down, and I watched that movie. Then I was like started MMA just as a thing to kind of defend myself against my cousins or to go beat some people up. Yeah. So I did. That's how I got into MMA. Then I started with Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Cape Town. Just like 2 weeks, 1 week later, I'm at Panther. So I was doing Gracie and the Panther at the same time. Then I had a fight within a month, won in 7 seconds knockout. I started late, you know, like, but at the end of the day, you know, like, that's why I might be 32 now. I still have, like, if I want to fight, I can have like 8-9 more years.
Yeah.
8-9 more years
Yeah.
of fighting, because I've never like done any sort of form of like physical athletics before, except soccer when I was very young, and I stopped playing soccer a long time ago when I was like 13.
Yeah.
So my body is not under too much stress whatsoever. I might have a lot of injuries, but I started a little bit too late. I was 19 when I started 10 professional at 22. 10 years later, I'm in the UFC. I mean, 10,000 hours, like this. And I know I can get where I want to get. I just have to make the necessary adjustments, even if it does hurt certain people, certain individuals, even myself. I have to do that. And I have to drop some of my ego. I mean, I'm a fighter. I've got a lot of ego and pride. And bring in certain people that has worked for me in the past, and try to mend relationships that I have had.
Might have burnt, yeah.
I mean, I can only try. If let's say they don't work out, it's okay, but at least I tried. And yeah.
I know that at some point you were a gardener.
Yes, sir.
And I know that at some point you didn't have a home. So in terms of like your journey, when was that leading up to eventually getting your first paycheck in terms of like the EFC?
I was a gardener until I was like 4-0.
For real?
Yeah. I was 4-0 in the EFC. That's why like when I just see these kids
Dang!
that I hear in the thing,
In the gym?
I always tell them that you guys have it easy because like I actually didn't have sponsors. I still have one sponsor even now when I'm in the UFC. I didn't have a sponsor. You see when the boys that are here in the gym, they don't pay nothing. I rent a flat for them.
You let them gym for free?
And they gym here for free. I rent a flat for them where they stay.
Yeah.
It's me who pay that money. I give them an opportunity to train as a professional athlete here. And nobody knows that. Nobody wants to hear that. Because
Dang!
I'm not saying it because I want to say it on the camera. Like I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's not like for publicity.
Yeah, it's not for publicity whatsoever. But I'm just saying it because you asked me a question that say, when did you get a first paycheck? How?
Yeah.
Whatsoever. I was 4-0, and it's a lesson that I always try to give to the guys here. Like I love my boys. They're good here. But I was 4-0, and I was a gardener. I would literally ask for a day off to come and fight in EFC. Then I go back and go in the garden. And people would see me on TV because all my fights were so entertaining.
Yeah.
And even in the complex that I used to work, people would see me on TV. Then the next day they would see me in the garden. They'll be like, "That's kind of funny." But
And were you training at this point?
I was training in Panther in Cape Town.
Okay.
So yeah, going back to my story, like I always try to give knowledge to these boys. And
Yeah.
say, guys, you got it easy, and you gotta be grateful of it, because at the end of the day, you must understand that. Me on my come up, I had to stress for my own rent. I had to stress for my own food. All they have to do is to work hard, and the sky will be the limit for the boys.
Yeah.
But having that said, it also comes at my expense. Like I can feel it now. It's kind of says my expense for my emotions, because some things I cannot do them at the moment, and it hurts me when I can't do some things. I feel like I'm letting some people down, but at the end of the day, I have to balance that and see what's right and what's not right for me, not for other people.
First and foremost, yeah.
So basically, I'm not supposed to be here, but I'm here because I felt like I'll be letting people down. My manager didn't want me to be here. My manager wanted me to stay in America. He was gonna give me a place to stay in America.
For real?
My flight was changed when I was supposed to fly back on the 20th. I fought on the 18th. I was supposed to fly back on the 20th with all my coaches and everybody. My manager says no. Let's stay. Let's get a head coach for MMA and get you a gym here. Let's get you settled. Then you can go back home, sort out your family stuff. Then you come back and live here, and you have to train here. And I had to assess and realize that, you know what, I was gonna close this gym. This gym was gonna shut down. And then if I close this gym, where will these boys train?
So that's going back. That's going back to the whole thing of like, you don't want to be that selfish person.
I'm not selfish. I'll never be selfish, whether I like it or not. People can never label me whatsoever. If you meet anybody that will tell you that Themba is selfish, that person is lying to you. Even the person that doesn't like me, that has come in contact with me, if you meet them and they tell you that, you will never meet someone, whether they like me or not.
Yeah.
If you have come to me in my personal level and capacity, and you will know that I'm never selfish. I give myself, I give so much, and I cannot change that. I try to change that. I try to have even counseling to try and change that. I cannot change that because I don't feel right when I change that, because it's in my nature. It's
the type of person that you are,
the type of person that I am, and if I try to, it's like you're taking a fish out of water. It won't breathe, and It is what it is. It's life. I have to find balance though. So I'm trying to find balance, but I believe that I lost for a reason because I can see why now. Certain things are happening that
Weren't presented to you at the time.
weren't presented to me at that time. Certain individuals in revealing themselves, and you know, like I'm also like my naiveness about things and people.
Yeah.
I can realize it now and be like, okay, I'm kind of stupid sometimes. Like, you know.
Or like the blinders are always there. And it's like,
no, I
I
always
don't try
to
to.
give so much into certain individuals. Like, let's say for this fight, if I have to be honest with you, like leading up to the fight, my rehearsal, you can ask anybody that was here, my rehearsal speech for my thing, I was going to go to Dana White after the fight and say, hey, Dana, I know, thank you for the opportunity, but back where I come from, there is certain individuals, X, Y, Z, that you can sign that are better than me even. If you can give those guys an opportunity, they'll do so well, you know. But then I met certain of the certain individuals after the fight. Then I kind of like felt like, okay, cool, okay, cool. Then I realized, oh, you know what? People are gonna be people at the end of the day, even if you try to put them up. Let's say if those, like let's say some of those individuals that I was trying to put up, if they were in my position, would you think that they would
They
think
do the
about
same.
Do you get me? So I don't know, man. I kind of like a little bit too naive. I need to adjust that. I need to think. I need to be more selfish about myself in terms of winning.
Yeah.
I can be generous in life. I'm not a billionaire, but I can be generous in life. But in terms of my winning, it should only be me, and winning, about Themba winning. That's it. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm adjusting, and I want to just focus on winning.
Yeah. And that's what everyone who's around you should be focused on.
No, that's what I've been doing leading up to this moment. I've been focusing on winning. Everything else will take care of itself. But for this fight, like I said to you, it's more hurting me because I people pleased. You know, I people pleased. That's the main way. That's I always say.
Yeah.
Even when I sit with myself in my car driving or whatever, I hit myself. I'm like, you stop this. You know, I need to stop this, and I need to use my emotions less in terms of people.
Would you say you're a superstitious person? Do you believe that, like in terms of like going into your fights, do you tie your right hand first before your left hand? Do you believe like?
Now that you said, I might have to do that. But
do you have any like pre-fight rituals that you do like for yourself?
Pre-fight rituals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But again, there was one that missed on this fight. There was one that I missed, and I know it.
Yeah.
And yeah, things were a mess, man. Things were a mess. If I have to be honest with you.
Is it a thing of like the?
I'm very superstitious and I believe in God, right?
Yeah.
And things on this fight were a mess. If you come back to it, like I'm not, you know, like people think, oh, these guys got so many excuses. But bro, I'm like the person that can only tell me that right now in South Africa and say, oh no, this is Drikas and Cameron Simon. Everybody else now. You know, like I'm not being arrogant, but everybody else.
I get you.
But having that said, I have to do everything the way I've always done. Even my walkout song was wrong.
It wasn't the usual one.
I said one day I'm going. The song was one day. I says one day I'm going to be, and it was not that day. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was it. I process everything. I'm an overthinker. I overthink on things. So I started thinking my walkout song was not right. It's not the usual walkout song that I always use. There's things that I do, like writing my own paper where I do things that I need to do in the fight, and I read it before I will step in the cage. I didn't do that in the last fight. And same as I fought in Abu Dhabi, I didn't do that. And it felt weird when I did it. Like, I'll be honest with you, man, I was not myself because I let in so much. But having that said, if the energy is very conflicting around you, you end up making these certain mistakes, certain things that you can never
get sidetracked.
Yeah, no, like without knowing, subconsciously things start happening themselves.
It's too quick,
if there's too many energies, mixed energies around you, and I am to blame again. I am to blame.
Yeah,
I'm grateful that
that it happened in the way that it did?
I'm grateful that it happened the way it did. I messed up. I messed up, and I will fix it.
You shouldn't beat yourself up to that extent. Like, it's one of those where it was a learning curve, you know? And it's one of those where it's like, now, next time, you know that what to do and what not to do, and you've learned your lessons from it, you know? But I feel like also it has to speak to, like, how much mentally challenging it is to be in that position, you know, in terms of, like, with what you have to keep track of and what you have to know for yourself and what you want, you know. But like, being a fighter is challenging mentally for the most part, rather than physically, what we see. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is very challenging, and it's good because now I can make adjustments that are necessary. I was gonna make a hell lot of adjustments, but that's why, like, when my manager says to me, "Stay in Las Vegas," and all that. I mean, he saw it from the outside part. What he saw, my manager was very upset after the fight. Not of me. I mean, not because of me.
Yeah.
He was upset with many things. I can't even mention some of them on camera because,
cool.
you know, it might offend some people and certain individuals. But he was very, very, very upset. My manager is cornered guys at championship level in the UFC. He knows what is needed if certain things are being done.
Going on, yeah.
Yeah. So he saw things from the outside perspective, and he was not happy. At the end of the day, it's me who was inside the cage. But he was not happy with certain things. And my manager is not like you know, like, that guy is very, 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 honest with me. And I can trust him. I mean, obviously, it's like sometimes he's got many fighters. So sometimes I might fight the guy that he's managing. Like initially I was supposed to. But I can have that conversation with him. And he's like a brother to me. To me, he's got a brother for life, like, if I have to say. And he was very honest with me. And some of the things that he said were very true, and he was not even there. So I have to do something that I wouldn't do for me to be where I need to get, and listen to the people that have been there at the highest level of this sport, and adjust and do things the right way, you know. Like, let's say, one thing I've not been doing, I always have my own sparring partners here and stuff like that, but my sparring partners, it's guys that actually maybe sometimes bring up, you know. We don't have a head coach here for MMA in this gym, obviously, because we can't afford it.
Okay.
And when you look at it, who coaches most of these guys? It's me most of the time. I have to go and do the research and thing. But at this level, unfortunately, I cannot do that. I cannot go. I mean, it's good because I'm also obsessive on it. I cannot go and do the research and coach it as well at the same time. Who's pushing me? Nobody. I'm pushing myself. But can you imagine what can happen if I have someone pushing me?
Oof.
Do you understand me? But having that said, I cannot have someone that pushes me that we're not at the same level of thinking, at the same level of energy, at the same level of
or even understands, like, your journey and your story.
Life. Understand what ticks my top.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I have to have someone that knows that if I say this to Themba, it will drive him crazy. If I don't say this to Themba, it would. Certain things work for me, certain things don't work for me.
True.
And things that don't work for me, I cannot change them.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm in the process of finding that. I've reached out to certain individuals, like certain coaches, certain individuals here in South Africa. Some of them didn't feel right. Some of it didn't feel right. Some of people have suggested to go to this guy, to that guy. But for me, some things don't feel right. If I don't feel right, if I don't feel like I should have that person, no, I'm not going to please you.
Yeah.
Just because you give me a suggestion, I'm not going to take it. I have to go home and process it myself. So, some things didn't feel right. I reached out of emotions to certain individuals, but I feel lighter as a person. I reached out trying to get some help. Like, I'll say it on camera so that people don't use it against me. Yeah, I reached out. Let's say I used to train with Richie Kwan. I reached out to Richie Kwan. I'm like, hey, bro, can we work together?
Work something out, yeah.
You know. But before, my manager wanted me to make sure that I'm coming back here to a head coach for MMA for me. And he says to me, you gotta get that right before you leave here. You know?
Yeah.
And I tried to reach out, like, obviously, me and Richie, maybe we could now. We talked and whatsoever, but then when I reached out for a certain message, when I reach out on a certain message and say something, the reason I want to put it on camera because then there's no screenshots that are being sent and say this guy reached out to me and I said no to him whatsoever.
You're trying to set the record clear.
I want to set the record clear. My manager said to me, reach out to a certain individual in South Africa that you think is the best coach for MMA. Then I reached out. Let's say first person that I was like, you know what? I said to my manager, I've had a difference with this guy. We have had this XYZ, me and him. Maybe let me reach out to him. You know, he can help me as well. He's the only person that I've worked with in the past. Was my coach for MMA, and I reached out, but when we got to a point where it was like I have to, my manager said, before you leave, you need to tell him why you wanna go and speak to him.
Okay.
And when I said that, there was no reply whatsoever. Then my manager was like, "That's a saboteur for what I think you shouldn't do." And I said to him, you know, I was just trying to get away from my manager as well because he was like very emotional.
And you,
like,
yeah.
no, I'll go make this thing work, you know. I'll go make this thing work. Then I flew back. But when I was flying back, I had an honest conversation with myself. I'm like, you know what I've been doing has been working at the highest level. I fought many more dangerous guys than this guy that I fought. Did I do myself justice in that fight? Like, I said no. If I went in there and did my best, and I fought my best, and I lost, that guy beat me doing my best, then I'll reconsider my profession. Do you understand? But having that said, I didn't do myself justice, and it's me to blame. Like, coming back again, my manager said to me, you failed prepared. That's what he said to me, you failed prepared. Sounds like I was not prepared.
Yeah.
I felt prepared. I felt prepared. I was prepared 100%, but I didn't perform 100%. I didn't even perform at like 6% in my own honest opinion.
Yeah.
There were factors and things that I can keep to myself because obviously maybe my next opponent might try to use that. Yeah, but it hurts. Every time I look at this fight, it hurts me. It really does hurt me. I'll never want to feel like this ever again.
No.
That's my promise to myself.
No.
I don't want to ever feel like this ever again.
Damn, like we weeks removed from it, and like the fact that you still feel this way, I feel like it's like
already a month.
Yeah,
Almost a month, yeah.
Nah, like the fact that you still like hung up on it is like it's crazy, and that's what I'm saying in terms of like that. This one is the one I feel like stings more on you, you know. But like speak in terms of like your support structure, then like in terms of who have been the people that. So you're saying you don't have a head coach, but like who have been the people who you trust in terms of like your circle that always, I guess, are like in the. That you can rely on in the building phase of getting you back to your top performances, because I know that you have a close relationship with Themba Penna. So, like, is that one of the people that you rely on?
Talk a lot. I mean, every time I think of something, I would call him and say, "Hey, bro, this X, Y, Z and stuff like that." You know.
So you bounce off from him.
Yeah, but I also have like my very good friend Daniel Kapsopoulos. He's in Zimbabwe. He used to fight as well.
It's true.
So that's like my very, very good friend. Like when I lost this fight, he called me and he said to me, "Themba, I can see you are there. And when I watch this fight, I'll be honest with you. If you went in there and you got dominated, I'll call you and say, Themba, my friend, find something else to do." He says to me, "You know what, Themba? You are there. I can see the skill. There's something just not ticking there. And I can tell in this fight there was something that was just not ticking. I'll do this. I'll pay for your accommodation. Stay for as long as you want there in America, and I'll pay for your accommodation. And you can stay there. You can sort out some bills that you need to sort out, and just make sure that you train there." And then like those are the type of people I have. And there's like some of my clients that are very, very good friends with me. I mean, you shouldn't be good friends if they are clients. But, you know, like I've got clients that I've been training for a very long period of time. They know in and out. They know my moves. They know when I tick, when I talk.
Yeah.
So some of my clients, we talk and stuff like that. As you came now, I was talking to one of my clients.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, like literally, we just having. She's like, "Themba, come sit here. Let's talk. Been through a rough time. Let's talk. You know, don't worry about my training." So like, I have some people that really care for me.
Can even put aside their time for
They
training
can-
and just
yeah,
like want
yeah,
to talk
they
to
can
you.
put their, aside their own time, money, emotions, and all that. They can put that and try to help me. There's certain people that are really there for me, and there's certain people that are around me. You understand? And I have to actually try and manage that part where I have to realize that this person is around me. Do I also benefit just for business?
Yeah, is it
Can we
a
be around
exchange?
each other?
Yeah, or is
Not,
it just one way?
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you might have to understand that, okay, cool, if you're around people, if you are benefiting something, let's say if it's a training partner or if it's someone giving you knowledge whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
Coach whatsoever, you have to understand that that's a business transaction that is only for that thing. So if it's a business transaction, sometimes put away your emotions, Themba, and not be too invested in certain individuals, because you know what, for them to you are an item. And yeah, for this loss, I've realized a lot, because I've realized like, okay, cool, I'm with a lot of people. I'm around a lot of people, but sometimes it feels I'm alone. Maybe it's my character. I'm very misunderstood. It's very hard to understand me.
Has it always been that way since?
Yeah. You have to understand me to understand me. But if you try to understand me to judge me or whatsoever, you will never understand me, because I'm always a goalpost that shifts, and that's why I'm here. I think, not being arrogant whatsoever. That's why probably I'm here. You need to be like that. Who gets signed to the UFC on a 1-fight winning streak? Go ask. There's Russians 12-0, there's Brazilians 12-0, 15-0, 23-0, 34-0. They're not in the UFC.
Still aren't, yeah.
Do you understand? And they want to be in the UFC. No one, everyone can tell you whatever they want to say and say, the UFC, whatever. Everyone wants to fight in the UFC, whether it's for $1,000 or whatsoever. Everyone wants to fight in the UFC. So if you can get there, just like by being myself, like the way I have done, I know it's a blessing from God and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I know that I was put in this position for a certain purpose and certain reason. It's not to fail. I was not put in the UFC so that I can go there and say I was there. No. I will succeed in the UFC. I'll become a champion in the UFC. It might not have been now, tomorrow, whatever, like that Gabriel Moreno said.
Yeah.
But eventually I will become a champion in the UFC. And maybe certain things I've been obsessed about, I need to take them away and realize, maybe it's not always about that.
Nah.
My journey is different. Maybe I'm supposed to inspire people in a different way, that, hey, you can lose, but you
Still
can
bounce
come
back. Sure.
And my life has not always been a straight path. It will never be. Is it the last loss? Who knows? We don't know. It's the unknown. That's why we have to go out there and try again.
But you're like the pioneer of, like, let's say African MMA. You up there, and like obviously a pioneer in Zimbabwean MMA.
No, I would say Zimbabwean MMA. I'm probably yes. African MMA. There's other people that have been there, done that better than me. Zimbabwe, yes, I am definitely there. Sylvester.
Yeah, definitely up
now
there.
Nicholas and stuff.
He's on his way.
Yeah. So, in terms of that, yeah, I can say that about my country only, because that's the only
That's
thing
what you can speak on.
Africa, no. I'll be honest, and I'm not naive. I'll be honest.
Do you guys?
Africa, there's better guys. There's people that's yeah.
Nah.
But I will be one day. I'll be the guy that people and kids in Africa, they can look and say, if that guy can do it, I can also do it.
Sure. Like, is it a matter of like how tight and close are you guys? Mentioning Sylvester, mentioning Nicholas. You were there at 101. Yeah. How tight are you guys in terms of the brotherhood coming from?
So, we have had our differences and stuff like that in
Okay.
the past, myself, Sylvester, Nicholas, in the last year or so.
Okay.
But I don't think like anything is permanent. And I feel like there were so many factors involved, let's say, with our difference and stuff.
Okay.
And coming back to look at it on a clean slate, I'm like, these guys are not what I said or thought they were.
Okay.
Everyone is a mess in life, including myself. No one is clean. No one is perfect. And if you think that you're perfect, then great for you. Just like myself, I'm not perfect. I'm like John say, I'm a sinner trying to be a good guy. So like, we've had our different stuff like that. We're coming together, all right. Are we there? For me personally, I'm okay with Sylvester now. I don't have any difference with him. I'm okay with Nicholas. I do not have any difference with him. I don't even want to talk about it because for me, I've thrown that stone in the river and it's just to wash itself down.
Yeah.
If they are not, then maybe. But I mean, we have got our own thing. We talk. Me and Sylvester, we talk. We talk. We were talking yesterday. We still talk. You know, behind closed doors when there is no cameras and stuff like we talk. Yeah. You know, and I'm happy that like I'm going to Abu Dhabi next week to corner some of the guys here.
Okay.
And I'll probably see Sylvester's there and I see Nicholas is there. You know, Nicholas has never been has never flown in his whole life. This is the first time he's flying on a plane and he's going overseas. You know, it's like exciting.
That's dope, yeah.
Actually, message you, I'm like, hey, bro, it's so good because if you go out of Africa, if you're trying to go on a contender city whatsoever, and one of the first questions they ask him about the visa is like, have you ever been out of Africa? And if you have never been out of Africa, it's going to be difficult for you to get a visa. And it's clear that he's going overseas. Because when he comes back, if he wants to get on the contender series, it will be way much easier for him. Yeah. You know? But it's an inspiring thing as well, you know?
Yeah.
And these guys have inspired them.
You guys are
me, you know?
certainly flying the Zimbabwean flag high. It's
Yeah.
It's crazy. But did you watch? Obviously, you watched 285 UFC 285 with Drikas and Cameron.
Yeah, man, with Drikas and Cameron. Yeah.
What do you think of their performances?
Look, one thing I'll tell you, man, that kid Cameron Simon is gonna be something special. He is very good. He's well-rounded. I don't know where this kid come from, man. He came from out of like
nowhere.
Like that's the crazy thing that he came out of nowhere and
just shut up.
Yeah, like even now, let's say in the US, he might be flying under the radar whatsoever, but this kid is dangerous. You know.
It was a pity with those fouls, but I feel like it takes away from his performance.
No, it doesn't take away anything because when you look at his age, and
still has time.
No, it still has time, but at the end of the day, when I was 22 like him, I was only turning professional.
Yeah.
So you must look at it and be respectful for what he has done because look at this kid, bro. Like he fights like a veteran in there. And bro, it's crazy to think of it. It's crazy to see when you see this kid performing at the level he's performing and the frequency he's performing in it. And with Drikas, obviously, it's amazing that he's just goes to show you that no matter what happens in life, if you work hard, eventually something good is gonna happen.
It's gonna pay off.
And look at him. Like, so let's say he was tired, but he worked hard in his entire life, right? That's why he is there. You don't just fall in this life. You don't fall in places, and you gotta be respectful of that.
Of the journey, then, like people's individual.
Yes. So like, let's say with Drigas, he's there. He's number 5 now, right, in the world.
I think 6, yeah. But
whatever it is, but still, it's very hard to bet. To just, like I said to you earlier, it's very hard to just be in the UFC.
Let alone be ranked.
Let alone be ranked. It's very hard to be in the UFC. So you gotta respect this guy and you gotta give him flowers for what he has done. And you know, like people feel offended, but there's this top up syndrome where people are always trying to be jealous of other people's success. Here in Africa, mostly black or white, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
there is jealousy here, and I've seen it. I thought before that it was only within the black communities and stuff like that. I see now, like within the white communities too, there's a lot of jealousy as well. Yeah. And like I know people that are probably jealous of him and stuff like that. But then sometimes I'm looking at him and I'm like, what do you benefit by being jealous of this guy? Just be supportive of him. Or you don't have to support. Just watch. You know, maybe one day you find peace within yourself and get inspired.
Can learn something from it.
Yeah, like me, personally, like I'll tell you now, me and Drigas, we used to train together whatsoever. And then kind of stopped because I was fighting, what's his name? Lau Karam. And then we never went back to training together.
Because it was from
But one of my best performances when I fought Jose Da Rocha. The Brazilian. Camp, every Thursday I used to train with Drigas, just me and him, you know. And for this next fight, while I'm here in South Africa, I'm gonna be training. I'll find a day or so that I'll go there and train with them.
At CIT?
Yeah, no, not like join the team.
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
just like a young week.
But one thing I've come to realize too is that in America the guys go and train everywhere. Obviously, I'm not gonna just jump and drop in any gym that is there existing in South Africa. I'll go where I fit, and I also have my own gym, and I can also organize a group of guys like I've been doing now with certain guys that I train with here at night. Like I will go definitely to CIT to train and spar and maybe whatever. That's my plan.
Sure.
I'm gonna be in contact with them soon and try to see. I'm just trying to sort out my life now. I'll come back from Abu Dhabi. When I come back, then I'll start doing that stuff. And like it's one of the things I've been lacking, where I train with high-level guys that don't give a shit, that want to fuck me up. And then if I get fucked up by a guy, it doesn't matter. I will never fight them. You understand? Maybe one day you can get to fight them in the UFC when they
The
get
same
there.
level, yeah.
But it doesn't mean that if I'm in the UFC, I'm the best welterweight or best fighter in South Africa. These guys are even better, but they just they just don't have the opportunity.
They don't have the spotlight
Yeah,
on
they
them.
they don't have the opportunity to be where I am at.
Okay.
These things are gifts from God. Do you understand? Being in the UFC, the gift from God. For me, that's how I believe. And God gives you at His own times. And someone can beat me up in training here. It doesn't mean that they've beaten me up in UFC. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get you.
So, but who benefits? I'm benefiting by feeling uncomfortable, being in uncomfortable positions here in training. By the time I fight, I'll be...
You're a beast.
Yeah, I'm a beast. Like let's say with this fight, this guy, his body type was very weird, the guy I fought. And I wish that I had done my due diligence and brought in sparring partners with a similar body type. I thought I could do it, but I should have brought in similar body types for MMA guys, and because that's like when I was in the fight, when I took him down, when I was trying to take his back, his body was bouncy.
It's rubbery.
No, like how do I say? It's like a ball.
Yeah.
It was like a ball. So like some of it fall off. Let's say when I was on his back and falling off, it shouldn't happen if I had done my things properly.
For someone to give you that look, nah.
Yeah, I should have gotten that look way before that. People can claim whatever they want to claim, but I know. That's why I'm doing these things now.
These adjustments.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to start doing these adjustments locally. And just for my own sanity, I might have to move for my next fight camp, train overseas, choose where I'm not known, no one knows me. I just go there and I train, I come back, I train, I come back, where I only worry about training, not to worry about the gym, not to worry about anybody else, Because sometimes some of the things that affect me personally, at a personal level, is my environment. If my environment is not right,
it affects you.
It affects me a lot, and it's something that I need to work on. And I feel like I'm around, like I said to you earlier, I'm around a lot of people, and sometimes I feel like some individuals are jealous of me. I don't know why. Should be inspired. And it's like almost like a crab mentality, where one crab is getting out of the bucket and the other crabs are pulling it back. They're like, come back, you belong here with us. Yeah. So I kind of feel like that. Maybe it's not the reality. Maybe that's how I see it in my own world.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Maybe it's not the reality. Maybe that's how I see it in my own world. So that's why I try to... if I can't afford to go overseas, then I'll train here, but I will not... I'm trying to organize my training only to be here, and then organize individuals to come here. I don't want to be around a lot of people, because I've done that now.
Trying to limit your circle now. Trying to cut down
I limit
people.
my circle, my interactions, my energy output. Like I said to you, leading up to the fight, I did a lot of stupid things that I wouldn't do in a million years. And I need to fix that, and fixing that is by doing that. And I know where I need to go to train, when I need to go and train.
Right now, what's the one thing that motivates you?
Bro, I'm always motivated, if I have to be honest with you. I'm always very, very motivated. I always work hard. I think I can work harder. If going back again, one of the things that I found out only after the fight, I actually had a disease that I had for 20 years that I didn't even know about.
Jesus Christ.
I know I had it 20 years ago, but I thought it was gone. But that disease has been killing me inside without knowing, you know. So we're fixing that now as well.
Okay.
The doctor knew about it before my fight, but didn't want to tell me. Because obviously, you know, just before a fight, someone tells you something.
Yeah, it can just
and
derail
I
you.
appreciate it. That's why he's a sports doctor. And that's why I've not been able to gain muscle, weight, or whatsoever. I've always walked around the same weight. My iron levels have been very, very, very bad. And what iron does, it affects your energy, your immune system, and all that stuff, right? And every 3 weeks I'll get sick with flu. Every 3 weeks, ask anybody here. And but I'll push in my training, and I will not get like mentally. I think I'm not tired, but what the doctor said to me is like, you know what? With this type of iron level that you have, if we look at all the blood's history of yours, your iron level has been bad for a very long period of time, because I've got bloods that I did in 2020.
Yeah, it's Rick is over.
Yeah, and when you look at it, he even said to me, I'm surprised that the doctors from the UFC allowed you to fight with this type of iron levels. You are basically, whatever you call it, Armenia, whatever you call it. Yeah, whatever disease they call it. And you are functioning at 20 to 50%.
Damn, you're not firing at all syllables right now.
No, I can feel it, because now we're fixing the problem. I can feel that my strength is going a little bit up. I'm doing the right things that the doctor had told me to do.
Yeah. Diets, everything.
Yeah, I'm eating the right foods. I'm getting there now, but it's not fixed yet. I'm still fixing. After 28 days, I have to fix this disease again. I have to drink the pills again. And for 4 months, which means that I'm probably going to fight still fixing the problem, because I'm fighting in June. So I'm probably going to fight still fixing this problem. But I'm glad it can be fixed, hopefully. I pray to God that I get it fixed.
Yeah.
But I'm also grateful that, you know, if I had won the fight, maybe I wouldn't have sat in that position with that doctor and said to the doctor, fix me.
What's going on?
Yeah, if it's not fixed, you come. If it's not broken, don't fix it, right? So I probably would not have fixed this problem of this certain disease that I have. I mean, it's a small disease, but having to have it for a very long period of time, it becomes a big problem. You can actually fall dead.
Dang.
Yeah, like
Delicate,
I mean, that's
man.
what Google tells me.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Google's not the best doctor now, Tim. I'm
yeah,
sure you know
Google's
this.
not the best doctor, but I kind of knew about it, about the disease, and I kind of like ignored it. When I was young, like we could have gone to the clinic and got the medicine or whatsoever, but you know, I didn't want to do that. I just kind of like, you know, it healed naturally. It went away where it should have been, but then still in my system. It's been in my system for 20 years.
Nah.
So yeah, it's good. What happened? The loss made me realize certain things I need to fix, and one of them as well is this.
Nah. Like who would you say is someone that you aspire to be in terms of like a role model? Do you have any of that? Someone you look up to?
He's dead. Kobe Bryant is my role model. He's my hero.
That's that Mamba mentality.
Yeah, you know, that guy changed my life. I've always been motivated, mentally strong, mentally and stuff like that. But when I wanted to make my comeback to fighting, when I had kind of like semi-retired up in the gym, when I wanted to make my comeback, I realized, you know what, I need to have someone to look up to. And I've always looked up to basketball players. I've never looked up to MMA fighters. Nah, I don't. Because I feel like my own opinion, basketball is way harder than MMA in terms of mental challenges, and because there's so many good basketball players in America, let's say.
Okay.
For you to be the top 1% is very hard.
It's crazy.
And I respect those individuals. And most of those individuals come from very poor background. But why I respect Kobe Bryant, he didn't come from the poor background. He come from a rich family. No, he didn't have to be so hustle and dirty, whatever.
Uh-huh.
His father was an NBA player already. So that's why I chose him, because it's a little bit different story. it's easy to relate to certain stories, but it's a little bit of a different story. So that's why I made him my role model. And before him, it was Derek Rose. But yeah, Kobe Bryant is my hero, and I intend.
That's who you emulate now in life, now.
Yep.
Like in terms of we're about to wrap now. In terms of like, what would you say to a 27-year-old Themba? Looking back now, what advice, what tips would you give a 27-year-old wherever you were in life at that time?
Just be you. Just be you. I was myself when I was 27. Just be you. Don't try to please the world. Believe in yourself, even if it sounds cocky or arrogant to other people. It's their own insecurities. I'm a very vocal person. I say what is on my mind. If it affects you, great. If it helps you, amazing.
Yeah.
But I will always say my mind, even in my downside, I'll always say my mind. I will never just get along or tag along. And it's my downfall for this last one. I kind of like tagged along.
Yeah.
With things. Not all things, with certain things. I'm very upset when I think of this thing.
Yeah. But yeah, man, Chamba, I feel like you with everything that you've accomplished so far and everything that you're gonna accomplish, I feel like you shouldn't beat yourself up, especially with this one, you know? I feel like you are at a right place in terms of knowing where you're gonna be and where you come from, you know? The trajectory that you've had. Like you're a pioneer, you're great, you're a legend, you know, already.
No,
so I
I'm
feel
not,
like
I'm not.
I feel like you are.
Yeah, you feel like you can feel like that, but I'm not.
Yeah, that's not what you see for yourself now.
No, realistically, I'm
Yeah.
not. Realistically, I'm not.
Okay.
From both sides.
Okay.
If I have to be honest, you know, I've not achieved what I need to achieve for me to be called that. There's a lot of work to be done for me to be called that, or just to be called a legend, or whatever.
You're my goat, okay? You're my goat.
No, don't say that just because you're here with me. You know, be
No,
honest.
I'm really not. I'm really not. Like I'm trying to give you your props, like with what you've achieved and
No,
with
no, I
your
appreciate
story.
the flowers. I mean, there's always a saying that give the flowers while they're still alive.
Yeah, I'm just coming from a place where with what your story has been and what I've known from it and what I see now where you're at. Like I feel like it's really motivating, you know. It's one of those where, like, granted, what happened like wasn't what we had wanted for ourselves, but I feel like with what you have achieved so far, from what your beginnings, what you came from, like you're a pioneer, you know. And obviously, like you with the tradition, like as I was saying, like with the path that you're at, I don't think you should beat yourself up because I know that you're destined for greatness, and you know that. So
No, I know definitely.
Yeah, and
I
you know
wouldn't
that.
be in the UFC if I was not destined for big things.
Yeah.
I know this, and I wouldn't be where I am in life if I was not destined for anything bigger than just myself.
Yeah.
This is not the end, but like I said to you, like it's good what you're saying. I will take it with a pinch of salt, but I know what I can do for me to be called that, what I will need to do for me to be called that. It's a long journey. It's a long journey, painful journey, hard journey, but in the end, I will get there. Like I said to you, man, I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like people can say, no, don't beat yourself up. It's easier said than done, especially if you are in my position. People can say whatever they want. You are not in my position. You know, like people can say whatever they want. They're not in my position. They don't know what goes into this for me. People can have an idea. You know, can have a thing, but internally, I'm at war with myself. Maybe I should come to peace, but I've never been at peace with myself like that. So I have to keep doing what has been working and never accept things the way they are. I try to accept them and say, the way they are, it's okay. I can think here and there I will do that, but deep inside I'm not. I need to make my right. And I need to make this comeback story the greatest comeback story for Themba, not for anybody else, because that's one thing I need to learn now, because I'm always trying to put other people first, always trying to do it for other people. If kids in Africa get inspired one day by me, it's great, but it's not my priority anymore. I have
bigger purpose.
I have bigger purpose for myself. I have to go there and do myself justice for me. Whether you like me, whether you don't like me, whether you like me, you hate me, it's okay. I'll just find a way to use those energies. And I will be back. I'll probably be back sooner because like I want to fight in my Shanshabi wants me to fight in June. My manager wants me to fight in June. I feel like I should fight sooner. I'll go to do the cornerman stuff now in Abu Dhabi. Come back, train. I'm already fit to fight now and strong to fight now. My weight is where it should be. I'm fixing things, but I also feel like I might have to fight on short notice. It's not ideal, but on the next one, I actually do not intend on having a full camp.
Yeah.
I want to do it on short notice. So I'm gonna put when I come back from Abu Dhabi, when I've trained and done my things, if there's someone that pulls out in the next, God bless them, I don't wish no one to get injured, but if there's a fight off in the next early May, end of April, I'm taking that fight. In the welterweight division, wherever it is, whoever it is, I'm taking that fight. And I'm not saying this now. I'm going to Abu Dhabi, come back that Sunday, train until Friday. Then after that, when I feel good and I know my fitness is like at 50-60%, I can operate at that. I'll call my manager and say to him, if we have not have a fight booked already, I'll call my manager and say, if someone pulls out, please
put me in.
Yeah, not because I don't have to do that. I'm on a 4-fight deal with UFC where I can just wait for my fights and my opportunities.
Yeah.
But I'm so angry with myself that I know I have to do myself justice, and it should be immediately.
Trying to correct those wrongs now.
Yeah. Now I know I didn't do myself justice. So like, yeah, it's painful.
Yeah.
It's very, very painful, and I need to go and correct my wrongs now. But having that said, if the journey has to wait until June, great. July, amazing. Whatever. But it will eat me more. The longer I wait, the longer it will eat me. I need to go and fix this now. Do you understand? I need to go and fix this now. That's how I'm thinking, where I am in my head.
This has been myself, Tshuck, with Themba the Answer Gorimbo on Fighting Talk, and the story only begins.
Thank you so much. You know why I did this interview? When you lose, not a lot of people want to talk to you, my friend.
For real?
Yeah. You know how many people approached me before my fight at the UFC when you approached me?
Yeah.
Maybe 9 or 10. Do you know that?
No.
When after the fight you meet them, it's a different story. So guess what? But I was like, you know what? If this guy comes to me and says to me, he still wants to talk to me and after a loss, it says a lot. Maybe I don't know you, but it says a lot to me.
Yeah.
To me, it reflects a lot to me as a person. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this. And guess what?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'll never do any other interviews in South Africa with anyone.
From now on?
Yeah.
This has been your last?
You only.
Dang.
I'll not do anything. Don't get me wrong, I'm not arrogant whatsoever. I pray to God I make it so big in life that I can be where I want to be.
Yeah.
And I'll work hard to be where I want to be in life. Because obviously, like when I say this, people are like, oh, you'll never be anything or aspire to be anything. And, oh yeah, maybe I make it, maybe I don't. But even if I don't make it or if I make it, it's the unknown. But I have to set the rules for myself. We're going forward. I'll only speak maybe with you, my friend.
You always have a home here on Fighting Talk.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Whether I become the double division UFC champion, the world is coming at me from all angles. I respect what you did today, because for me that's very important. Because when it's all shiny and rosy, a lot of people want you. A lot of people want to talk to me. A lot of want to think just like when you lose alone. When you win together.
It's everyone, yeah.
You understand? And I lost, and you came here, and we're talking, and I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that, and I will tell
Like
you.
I said, you're a goat. You're my goat.
No, I'm not a god.
You're my goat. You're my
No,
goat.
One day, I
Yeah.
will be. But I said to you, yeah, I just respect that part about you.
No way.
Just, it's not like I like this spotlight whatsoever,
Yeah.
to be talking and whatsoever. It's not my vibe, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
But when you say to me, can I talk to you? Can I have an interview with you still? Then I'm like, I just lost a fight. I shouldn't mean shit to you. But you say to me, okay, cool, can I still do it? I respect that. And don't get me wrong, the guys that maybe have not come to me and reached out, maybe they've got some sort of feeling of being, maybe they feel I'm sad, but I respect that one thing only, that you had the guts to come to me and say to me, hey, listen to me. Because you cannot say, I cannot judge people based on this and say, okay, cool, these guys didn't give me an opportunity after the fight because whatever. It is what it is. It is who they are and what they do and whatsoever. And for me, my own peace, I'll never do that. Like I said to you, I'll never do things that are people pleasing going further. No hard feelings on anybody. It's just for my own good. I have to do things for my own good going forward. And yeah, man, I'll come back.
Till the next time.
Thank you, my friend.
Shoot.
Oh, that's fighting talk.